one perfect pit call, one aggressive strategy, and suddenly a race that looked out of reach flips completely. At Kansas, Taylor Gray didn't just win, he stole one, held off a charging Sheldon Creed, and sent a message to the entire NASCAR garage. This team is finally figuring it out. Taylor Gray grabs his second career win in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He drives the number 54 Toyota to victory at Kansas Speedway. Sheldon Creed finishes second after a late charge, but still cashes in the $100,000 Dash4Cash bonus. Justin Allgaier comes home third and keeps a massive points lead. And this race, it had everything. Strategy swings, penalties, chaos, and one of the most violent crashes we've seen this season. Let's start with the bigger picture. Taylor Gray didn't just show up and dominate. This team has had speed all year, but couldn't close. Mistakes, bad luck, missed opportunities. It's been building frustration inside that garage. And Kansas, it looked like more of the same early. Brandon Jones controlled both stages. Carson Kvapil started on pole before getting wiped out in a terrifying airborne crash just 3 laps in. Multiple contenders had issues. Strategy was all over the place. But here's the turning point: green flag pit stops in stage 3. That's where this race flipped home. And where Gray's team made the call that changed everything. Because in NASCAR today, it's not always about having the fastest car. It's about making the right move at the exact right time. And that's exactly what they did. This win comes down to one word: execution. Taylor Gray's crew chief made the decision to short pit coming in earlier than the leaders during that long green flag run. That's a gamble. If a caution comes out, you're trapped a lap down, race over. But if it stays green, you gain time, a lot of it, and that's exactly what happened. Gray cycles ahead of both Sheldon Creed and Brandon Jones, not because he passed them on track, but because his team outplayed them strategically. Now here's where it gets interesting. Once Gray got clean air, the race changed again. Kansas is a track where clean air is everything. You can be faster, but if you're stuck in dirty air, you're fighting turbulence, losing grip, burning tires. Creed was faster late, no question. He cut a 3-second gap down to less than half a second, but he could never quite get there. Why? Traffic, timing, and just enough defensive driving from Gray to keep that gap alive. This wasn't domination, it was control under pressure. And that tells you a lot more about a driver than leading every lap ever could. Now flip to Brandon Jones. He had the best car most of the day, swept both stages, but one mistake on pit road, an uncontrolled tire penalty, completely destroyed his race. That's the razor-thin margin in NASCAR right now. You can do everything right for 90% of the race, and one slip costs you everything. Fans are going to be split on this one. On one side, you've got people praising the strategy, smart racing, perfect timing. That's how you win in modern NASCAR. On the other side, there's going to be frustration because the fastest car didn't win. Brandon Jones dominated early. Creed arguably had the best long-run speed late, but neither of them are in victory lane. And then there's the emotional side. Carson Kvapil's crash, that wreck shook the entire race. A reminder of how dangerous this sport still is, even on intermediate tracks. So yes, this wasn't just a race, it was a roller coaster. This win unlocks Taylor Gray's season. Confidence builds, the team starts executing consistently. Suddenly, this isn't just a young driver with potential. This is a legitimate playoff threat who knows how to close races. This was situational, a perfect storm of strategy, timing, and mistakes from others. If they can't replicate that execution, they fall back into that frustrating pattern. Fast with not finishing. And for Sheldon Creed, if he keeps knocking on the door like this, wins are coming. But if he keeps finishing second, that pressure builds fast. So here's the real question. Did Taylor Gray win this race, or did everyone else lose it? Because in today's NASCAR, that line is getting thinner every single week. Drop your take in the comments. And if you want breakdowns like this after every major race, hit subscribe and stay locked into SportsWire USA.